I'm going to get straight to the point. I'm going to separate victims from what will I call these set of women? Because there have been victims. Let me explain. There have been victims, okay? Let me explain the victims. Let me explain, in my opinion, Bill Cosby victims. Okay, I'm gonna give you my opinion about Bill Cosby victims. They were innocent. They didn't know what was going to happen to them, and they didn't know what was going on. Okay, now let me explain workers, sex workers, prostitutes. Sex workers and prostitutes get paid to do all kinds of awful acts. And sometimes these acts become violent. And when these acts become violent, instead of the sex workers prosecuting the people that do the violence against them, they accept a payoff. So, in other words, I am accepting a payoff for you to brutally abuse me. This is a contractual sexual agreement that we are making. Then you got the ones that go into a sexual agreement and it becomes violent and they get taken, the contract becomes unavoid because they become violent in the sexual acts. But when you accept a payoff for that violence, you accepted a payment for that violence. And that makes it a voluntarily act. I want to separate the victims from the workers. When Weinstein was arrested for supporting Donald Trump, and all of these Grammy Award actresses came forth and said what happened to them by his hands and by their consensual acts. In other words, if you was great, why wasn't it documented legally? So you accepted a payment for being violated. You went into a contractual agreement. You received the Oscar Academy Award, a script. In my opinion, the powers to be is using people like me to give you a prostituting retirement fund. Because though I am ecstatic that finally the demons, let me drop the link because I would love for someone to join me in this conversation. I would love to pull up dear friend of mine's, but my phone is always dead because of my granddaughter always using it. I want to separate victims from volunteer prostitutes. P. Diddy is in a relationship. It's brought to the public. This is what they want us to believe. I believe the young lady name is Miami. So when is the powers to be going to use her to get even more money? See, these people that want to take P. Diddy down don't need his money. They just don't need him to have it. That's how it works. And don't get the Weinsteins and confused. I'm talking about the director at this point, not the one that was running the island, not that thing that was rightfully convicted, not that one. Talking about the director that paid for his course to be the boss by adult, mostly consensual women, that the power to be used us to take this man down, to take his power down, to take his money, so he would have nothing to support Donald Trump with. In my wisdom and understanding and knowledge, that's my conclusion. That's what I believe happened to this man. You want to say to me, I don't have empathy for the Academy Award winning actresses that got paid, got awards, but they went through a terrible prostituting experience that wasn't, in their opinion, warranted. So if it wasn't warranted, it's supposed to have been prosecuted. Okay? You accepted an award, you accepted a payout for your justice. I want everybody to separate victims from perpetrators. Are we allowing Hollywood to use us to rob and control their algorithm, who they want up and who they want down? That's the thought that I want y'all to have. Don't you take this as if I'm not glad that the demons finally took their money. Look how long they waited. Look how long they allowed them to prowl and predator. Look how they let money get away with things. Look how T.I. wasn't properly investigated. These women didn't receive their justice. But you don't hear him trying to be no more Black Power activist, do you? Okay? You don't even see the podcast no more. It's shut up. Allegedly, in my opinion. That's the way I'm looking at it. Yilaka. I'm telling you, that young lady deserved justice right after her beating and deserved to be saved right after her beating. Not when she is retired and cannot no longer participate in the hardcore acts that she used to get paid for. That's my point. That's my point for every woman in Hollywood. When you a victim, you a victim. When you not, you not. Let us stop using and allowing the injustice to be done. I was so delighted thinking that, and not really knowing that this was just a civil suit against P. Diddy. I thought it was a criminal investigation against P. Diddy. So I was so delighted and Oh boy, ding dong, the witch is dead. I was like, man, rejoicing, taking my little poverty pennies and giving it to a rich man. The lead attorney had a beautiful panel, and he was like reading the allegations, and people was trying to judge him to be reading them insensitive because he was laughing. He like, listen, y'all don't know what y'all reading. I do. I'm an attorney. And the way, and everybody right away, of course, me, oh, look at him, look at him. Nope. This time, mud in my face, pie in my face, because the bottom line is how much of this was voluntary. That killed everything for me. See, everybody always go, oh, the victim. But how much was it voluntary? When it didn't work out for you, that's when you became a victim. When you accepted a beating to have sex and then got a Rolls Royce after, and then had to perform that same act again, and then got another beating, and then got $100,000 necklace, and then got another beating, and then got, yeah, that kind. Let make it make sense, like the great content creator that will be over, way over hundreds of thousands this year, coming up to 24. Make it make sense. All right, y'all. That's all I have to say. I don't want nobody coming to me like I'm insensitive and I don't want justice, of course. But let it be justice for all. Let's separate this situation, okay? Let's stop being Hollywood Terminator public. Let's get some justice in there, because it should be a law that prosecutors should be able to pick this up, these allegations, and prosecute them. The allegations that was made about P. Diddy need to be prosecuted. And there needs to be a cold case investigation open in every one of them bodies that fell to the sword by P. Diddy, by so-called natural causes, because these people eat and congregate together, need to be investigated. Those bodies need to be exhumed. We have enough technology now. We can find out if chemicals of any kind of destruction is in a person's body. And that's what I want to see. Real justice. May grace and peace be unto y'all. This is going to be heaven, or it's going to be no earth. These beautiful living souls are living and they're going to get justice. Believe that. And check out my pages. Apartment available in New York City right now has a strike on it. Check out the ministries of the revelation by me. Anointed and appointed only by the Holy Spirit. Okay? Thank you.